What is packing with you, YouTube? Welcome back to Moving the Chains with BMac and KHTV. Um, Interesting football games today that was played. I hope you guys enjoyed your Sunday, and I hope the teams that you rooted for went out there and did what they were supposed to do and bring you a W. Um, what's good with you, BMac, man? How you been, man? What you been up to? Did you enjoy your NFL Sunday football this week,
Well,
week 4?
well, first of all, it's been a crazy week, man. This week of football, as usual. Seems like every week of football, some crazy shit always happens. As a crazy loss, a crazy win, whatever. Um, yeah, man. I mean, it was pretty solid. My football Sunday. I got a lot of stuff to get off my chest today, so this could
Oh
be
yeah.
a little venting going on. But yeah, man, it's good to be, let's talk about some football. What's happening around the league in this division, and with our Green Bay Packers.
Well, it was a good football. I mean, I ain't gonna say it was a good football day today for me as far as gambling. It was, I didn't. It wasn't expecting, some of these games to get out of hand like they did. But that's just the nature of the sport that we love. Shout out to TR. What's good with you, man? Glad you tuned in. That's just the
Oh,
nature of gambling. You know
yeah,
what I mean? It was a lot of stuff all over the place, but shout out to the Atlanta Braves for having home field advantage in the playoffs.
mm,
Another great year, capped off with Ronald Acuna Jr., the NL MVP, who had a great season. Um, so shout out to the Braves. Now that the season is officially over, we are jumping into October, man. Playoff time for the MLB. And I think some playoff games will be starting on October 3rd. So if y'all into baseball, look forward to the Braves doing a thing and trying to bring a championship back to Atlanta again for the second time in 3 years. So it's going to be an exciting postseason for the Atlanta Braves and all the other teams that are who made it to the playoff. Good luck to y'all because it's gonna be tough beating us. But yeah, not a good day gambling, man. I didn't gamble too much. I really didn't do my research this week because I was all over the place as far as working. But we'll get back to winning this upcoming weekend when we have our annual football palooza weekend, which I am so excited for. Going to see the Arizona Wildcats face off against the USC Trojans, and then we will be at the Monday night extravaganza where the greatest football team in sports history will be facing off against the Las Vegas Raiders. I will be in attendance. There will be a whole lot of content being brought to you that week from me because I will be on vacation enjoying my annual football palooza weekend extravaganza. So I'm so excited about that. And I hope you all tune in and check out the content and what I put out there. Should be a great time. But yeah, man, before we get into your rant and you venting about this past Thursday night game, we're gonna get into some things around the league. Uh, First of all, the NFL has limited the suspensions on the players that had gambled. Did a little bit of online gambling. They lowered their suspensions to 4 games. So those guys who had 6 game suspensions and those that were indefinitely suspended will be playing this year. So what's your thoughts on the NFL being a little lenient on these guys that have been gambling?
Um, I mean, yeah, I mean, you gotta, um, I mean, I really don't have no thoughts. I mean, I know a couple of guys got suspended. I think what's his name? Kamara got suspended, right?
Well,
Mississippi.
Kamara's
Oh no, that
suspension
was for
wasn't
something
related to
else.
gambling. Yeah, that was. I
Yeah,
think
that
that.
was something else. I
No,
think who? Michael Thomas from the Saints. I could was somebody for the Saints.
no,
Uh,
no. It was a couple
oh, I
of
mean,
players from the. It was a couple of players from the Lions, and
yeah, the Lions.
I think
Yeah,
another team as well.
I mean, yeah, man. I mean, most things like most people do in this country is more legal now. So
Right.
now they're saying weed is more legal now in certain states. So
And not only that, the state Kentucky, they have now
yeah,
legalized online gambling.
I mean, in
And
Texas, you can carry a gun without no
right.
ID now. In Texas, like Texas now, people just freely carry guns, which I think is stupid to me. But
And I think that's the reason why the NFL probably went lenient on them because of the big boom of online gambling when it comes
yeah,
to live betting on sports.
yeah,
Um, a lot of people are really engaging into it. I mean, because you could bet pretty much on anything in sports. You could bet on passing targets to a receiver.
mm,
I mean, so if last week, if you bet the over of passing targets to Keenan Allen,
mm,
pretty much won your bet because he got thrown the ball 20 times and he caught 18 of the passes. Had
mm,
I think 215 yards in that game. So the big boom of online gambling. I think the NFL is starting to understand. I mean, I understand they don't want the players to gamble on it. They don't want them to have no type of advantages or anything like that.
mm,
Which I do applaud them on. I don't want to see players gambling on sports either. You know what
mm,
I'm saying? While they're in a professional sport, but if it's outside of the game that they playing, like baseball or basketball, they should allow them to do that. But
mm,
gambling on football games while you playing football games, nah, I don't think that's a good look. So, but I do understand where the NFL would be a little lenient because you know the average consumer or the average fan, they promote DraftKings, they promote FanDuel, you know what I'm saying, during the games. So
mm.
it is what it is. It is what it is. Um, what's your thoughts on the NFL um, changing the rules on the tush push that the Eagles have been getting away with? This
What's that?
when they get on the goal line and
Mm,
um, it's like a quarterback sneak, but what the Eagles have done, they will line two guys behind uh, um Jalen Hurts, and once the ball is snapped, those two guys behind him will push him into the end zone.
I think I've seen that a few times. I mean, is that legal?
Well, that's what some people were saying that it shouldn't be legal for them to do that.
Oh,
Any team to do that to push a player, to get the extra yards. Me personally,
yeah,
I mean, you a defense. You got to learn how to stop it. That's how I think about it. I mean, I don't have no
yeah,
problem
that's
with
true.
it.
I
I
mean,
mean, if you
the job is to
you
stop them from getting in the
exactly, You shouldn't
So
have let them get. You shouldn't have let them get down that far in your
that's true.
territory anyway. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
So yeah, I
So
mean, I think yeah, I don't know. This I say leave it as it is. Like I don't think he's a big
right,
hit.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? Because is at the goal line, wasn't he like a 1 yard,
yeah. And that's the
and
job of
then
the
he's
offense
in.
to put points on the board
Yeah,
anyway.
or maybe it's just a 2 point conversion. I mean, not 2 point conversion. A quarterback sneak, like maybe a midfield. They do the same thing. You know what I mean? So it's like an
Right,
inch. So and like you said, your job is to just keep them from getting the first down. So
exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
So
So I don't have a problem with it. I mean,
even though Philly did nick suspect, well, Philly has been nick as a team. Philly has been nick suspect so far. Um, even though they 4-0, they haven't been looking dominant. So
right, right, yeah, man. I mean, if you can't stop it, then figure out a way to stop it. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
and
That's
Jay
it.
Hurts is and Jay Hurts. He's, I mean, he's a mobile quarterback, so you're not gonna, what I mean, like you should already
Yeah,
know
you got to
what
put
he's
that
gonna
in
do.
your game plan. You know
Yeah,
you got to put that in your game plan that
because with
you
quarterbacks,
got to expect that to happen if you're gonna play against this team. Expect that to happen. You know what I'm
see,
saying?
to avoid the quarterback sneaks, don't let them get third and short. You know what I
That
mean?
too. I
Third and
mean,
one, third and inches, fourth and second and one. You know what I mean? Don't let them get you know up to the line, up ahead of the line of scrimmage.
you're right,
So
right. I mean,
yeah,
game plan for it. You got a game plan for it. You know
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what they do.
So yeah,
So you should be expecting it if you get in if your defense puts you in a position to where they can run that play, then you just
yeah,
got a game plan for it. So I don't have no problem with the tush push. I mean, maybe they should change the name up a little bit. You know, that sounds kind of weird, but I mean, I don't expect nothing less from Eagles fans to have some kind of you know slogan behind them like that. So
yeah.
it is what it is. Trademark that, Eagles fans. Tush push. Trademark it. Shout out to Philly 500. Um, Bakhtiari. Let's get into the greatest football team in sports history talk right now. Bakhtiari. Bakhtiari. He is out for the remainder of the season. I spoke a little bit about this on the live that I did without you, and I kind of tried to, limit a lot of the things that I wanted to say because you wasn't available or at the time, or
Yeah.
you know we couldn't get in contact. But he's out for the season.
Mhm.
Um, has to get multiple cleanup surgeries. Already had one. I think he's expected to have another one later on. Clean up a little bit of scar tissue. Um, like I said in my last video, I do expect the Packers to be bringing in guys every Tuesday,
Mhm.
offensive linemen, left tackles, right tackles, uh, especially with John Ryan now in a walking boot after the I ain't gonna say horrible learning experience that we had to be subdued to on Thursday night
Mhm.
football. So what's your thoughts on and I want to say this now. Bakhtiari Bakhtiari's claim to fame is
Mhm.
him chugging beers. And from what I know and what I've heard doctors say, that drinking alcohol is not good for your knees.
Mhm.
So who knows if Bakhtiari is knocking a couple of brewskis down after practice or the days he don't have to come to practice. You know what I mean?
I mean, I seen him in the beer chugging contest.
Yeah, it's that they saying having alcohol in your system and having a knee injury like he had is not good for your knees.
But it seems
Maybe
like
that,
he chugs beer 24/7.
yeah. So maybe
I don't know.
that's
I'm just
having an effect on the
I,
reason.
I'm so over David Bakhtiari right now. To be real with you right now, I'm just. It's just every single time. There's always every single year, always something with him, injury or this and that.
But see, I said this in my video. Remember, this is his first serious injury as a football player. He was never hurt before this. He had a little ankle here, you know what I'm saying? Maybe, shoulder injury here and there,
I
but
think, and no, I kind of hate to like use injuries as as like conspiracy theories, but I think this is bigger than a season in the injury. I think he's trying to get himself out of Green Bay to get where Rodgers is at, and trying to force himself for a trade, and because since since the former Green Bay Packer quarterback left, he's been acting weird, and he's saying that it's a rebuild, and he's like, I think he took some shots at the front office here and there, and he was I think him having that close relationship to the previous Green Bay quarterback, I think that I think that friendship is affecting his relationship, because he just saw his best friend have issues with the front office, and now he's probably not a big fan of what they doing.
I mean, there's probably some truths within what you said. There
Yeah.
probably is some truths to that. But um the main thing is, like I said, this is his first major injury as a football player. And
Hmm.
when this is your first major injury and you at the age that you're at and you put in so many years and so much time
Yeah.
that you have,
Yeah.
sometimes it could be a psychological thing,
Hmm.
to where he might have been good at a certain footwork drill
Yeah.
where after the surgery he can't do it the same. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? He
I think before the big injury he had, I think he didn't miss a game, right? I think he's pretty
right, right,
durable. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right. That's what I'm saying. So,
I mean, probably like a few games, uh, here and there, but
but that's what I'm saying though.
yeah,
After rehabbing and recovery, what I'm saying, he knows himself. You know
yeah,
yourself. You know how fast you can do things. And he's probably going through these drills and he's probably like, yo, I can't do this at the speed that I used to do it at. And it might
yeah.
cause a little bit of discouragement,
Mm,
um, because you've been put up in the NFL ranking hierarchy as one of the best
yeah.
at the position that you play at. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think he's like a 4-time all pro, something like that.
Right,
Yeah,
right, right. And
yeah.
and 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 when you walking around year to year to year with
Mm,
that
mm,
impact and with that characteristic that whenever you go into the game, you one of the best left tackles that's going to be playing on Sunday. And
yeah.
when you have an injury like that, and it's like, yo, I'm not how I used to be. He's taking
Mm,
all of this time off during the week. He's not practicing. It's
mm,
all of this. We're monitoring it. It's swelling up. They gotta drain it. It's just.
yeah, man.
I mean, I I,
Yeah.
I feel for Bakhtiari, but at the
It
end of the day,
sucks. It sucks that he had to. That his career might come down to a
right,
season end,
right.
and it just sucks.
Right. And at the end of the day, this is a business.
Yeah.
And the Green Bay Packers have to be thinking in the interest of business. And just from the pattern I have been seeing the Green Bay Packers on, they are with the youth movement. I'm telling you,
Well, this is
Bakhtiari,
probably his last. Well, I don't think he's coming back next year. I'd be shocked if next season David is back next year.
yeah, I've been saying this. The Packers cannot afford to have a $40 million left tackle
Mm-hmm.
playing 9, 10, maybe 11 games a year. You know what I'm saying? Because we playing on turf this week. Oh, he not playing.
Yeah, and he
You
spoke
might as
up
well. You might as well go
on
draft.
that
You might
turf.
as well draft another left tackle in the first 3 rounds. You know what I'm saying?
He spoke up on that turf too when the previous Green Bay quarterback got.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like that's what his mind is not focused on going out there to win. His
Yeah,
mind is focused on, can I make it through this game
his
this
health.
week
You know what I mean? Yeah,
without
yeah,
no knee
about staying healthy.
problems.
Yeah, I mean he
That,
should worry about his health because his body and offensive lineman. You need your knees a lot to,
and
get.
that's what that's what I'm saying. When you not hurt, when you don't have an injury,
Yeah.
you going into a game not even thinking about being injured. But now that you've had a major surgery, your first major surgery in a
Mm,
professional sport that you love, now when you go out there, you protecting that knee. You making sure you don't step the wrong way to where it can cause any potential lingering problems. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be always out there thinking about that knee. You know what I'm saying? Hoping that this defensive tackle that's coming at me don't do no spin move the wrong way to where I gotta try to save Jordan Love's life, but at the same time, I got my knee might get blown out by trying to
yeah.
protect this dude from getting a concussion. So, it's a lot. It's a lot of psychological things and a lot of mental, uh, 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 a lot of mental things you got to think about when you're going into a game, especially knowing that you've been sitting out all week,
I
limited,
I, I don't
not
need
practicing,
to
taking vet
change.
days off, and your knee.
I don't. Oh, I don't need to change the subject on this real quick, but do you know that Jordan Love had a weed thing? But think about Jordan Love's weed background.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I heard about that. Yeah,
I
I,
mean, do
I
you
don't
think
know.
that that's a problem? I mean, is he still? I'm pretty
No,
sure he's not doing it.
N- no, no, no. I don't think it's a
Oh,
problem. I mean, he's young. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? He a young man. He probably was around some bad influence.
mm,
People who do that stuff, and
yeah,
you know you want to be look cool.
mm,
We're not hearing about it now. You know what I'm saying? We ain't heard nothing lately, but of course the media is going to bring that up, knowing that he's going to be the starting quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. So they got to have
mm.
some kind of story on him or some kind of past incident to make him not seem like he's just this goody
Yo,
two shoes.
I'm telling you, man, if we get a third straight Harvard quarterback that's on drugs, Favre with his painkillers,
I mean,
Rodgers
yeah,
on
yeah,
ayahuasca,
exactly.
and now it seems
Yeah,
like we're gonna
right.
get another starting quarterback with weed. It seems like we get these starting quarterbacks who just take these weird ass drugs, man. It's crazy.
Um,
I mean, I guess that's the Green Bay nature.
I
Eh,
mean, we don't know what these athletes are taking. I mean, we heard uh Marshawn Lynch say that he drink before every game.
oh, yeah, man.
He said he would get drunk before every game. It's a lot of athletes, a lot of NBA basketball players that said they smoked every day. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? Like they only get drug tested once before the season. After that, they can do whatever
I
they
don't think
want.
I hear ayahuasca is like a medicine that can help people, right? I don't think that's really a drug.
I mean, it's an individual's own personal opinion on
Mm,
how they feel about all of that. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? I mean, everybody is like TR said, everybody is dealing with some kind of chronic issue where they need some kind of, you know, medication to aid whatever pain it may be, whether it be
mm,
um alcohol, whether it be marijuana, whether it be an opiate. You know what I'm saying? I'm not encouraging that, but I'm just saying that it's a lot of people out here that's dealing with a lot of chronic things, especially when you're a football player. Think about uh 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 think about the medicine that they giving these players to go out there and perform every week that
yeah.
shouldn't be playing. This guy's going out there playing with separated shoulders. Just shoot me up, doc. Shoot
Mm.
me up, Doc, so I don't have to feel the pain while I'm
Oh,
out there.
the perks. I bet the previous Green Bay
Right,
Packers quarterback took that from that Bears comeback.
right,
Yeah, the
right.
perks.
And
Yeah,
you got to think when you making millions of dollars and you
mm,
have all these incentives in your contract and you trying to meet those obligations so you could get the bonus money.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? These guys are willing to put their bodies on the line to
yeah,
go out there and make the money that they want, that they trying to make. You know what I'm saying? So, you
yeah.
know, to each his own. But let's get into your rant about the Thursday night football game because I am interested into hearing what you have to say about what you observed
It's not really a rant. It's just like a
in a primetime
conclusion.
game at home with against the 0-16 Lions. Shout out to the Gridiron Blitz, man. Much respect to that brother, man. Shout
Yeah,
out to him, man.
yeah. Well, they're still the pussycats, and they're always gonna be the pussycats, right? But hey, let them have their Super Bowl victory. That's their moment. They 3-1. Congratulations to the pussycats. You know what I mean? We'll be seeing you again in Fort Field. You know, which we always play well in Fort Field. It seems like Fort Field we don't play well, so that's another concerning thing. But
Thanksgiving, another
yeah.
Thursday game.
Shockingly, we got
Thanksgiving,
Thanksgiving
right?
Thanksgiving game. Shockingly, because we never get a Thanksgiving game, which I just hate watching my team on Thanksgiving, man. I just want to relax and eat. I just don't want to be so tense eating my Thanksgiving meal, watching the Green Bay Packers, man. But
So,
anyway,
so, what was your
it's
thoughts
not
on?
really a rant. It's more like a. It's just no. We all young team. I get that. It's gonna
Right.
be losses. It's gonna be, you know, losses that we can learn from, experience losses that we can gain from. You know, again, this team still needs to learn how to win. It's not that we lost. It's just that, like, we just came out so flat, man. It's like the Lions were hungry, or you know, it's like the Lions were hungry and we wasn't. Like we just came out there, you know what I mean? Like we didn't want to play on prime time at home against the division rival with the division pretty much. I'm not gonna say on the line too early for it, but it does kind of set the tone. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And it's just like the play calling, like the offense was just the play calling. The offense couldn't get nothing going. The defense have, nothing's changed. Nothing changed about this defense at all, man. Especially like in the run defense, man. It's the same thing, different year, man. With this shitty ass run defense, man. We can't stop the run, and we've been having this issue since 5, 6 years. We can't stop the run to save shit. And it's like we give Cleaning Clark, like we're gonna give Cleaning Clark help in the middle, like all this resources that Goose spend on this D line in the first round, and you can get somebody that can clog up the middle with them. You're gonna just leave Kenny Clark on an island double team, or okay, Kenny, we know you are a good player, you know what I mean. So we're gonna have you leave you by yourself. We let you figure it out, and then boom, like we letting average ass running backs like what's his name from the Falcons, Robinson. We made Robinson look like prime
No, no,
Adrian
no, no, no. Hey, hold
Peterson.
on. Hold on. B. John Robinson was a highly
But
prospected
last week,
back in the draft.
the Detroit D line kept them under 100 yards last week, and we made them
It's
look like
called
prime
it
AP.
Bernard. It's called game planning. It's called game planning, and the Detroit Lions did well in the draft and in free agency to build that defensive line. They
That's
stopped
what
us
I'm
from
talking
running the
about with this
ball.
Packers
They
team.
stopped us from running the ball. They stopped the Kansas City Chiefs from running the ball.
My issue with this team is that we not fucking physical. We are not a physical football team. We don't have the horses up front. We don't have the horses on both sides of the line, offensive line and defensive line. That's why
Bernard,
anytime we go up
Bernard,
against these teams, hold on, hold on, hold
Bernard.
on, hold on. Let me preach. Hold on, hold on. Because I'm sick of seeing the same old shit with this team, man. We like in positions that we know we need to get better, we don't
Right.
get better. And it's obvious that we need to get better, and we don't get better. Defensive line, we get pushed. Offensive line, we get pushed. We are a finesse soft ass team.
We are the youngest team in the NFL.
Dude, we been having this problem with Rodgers. We been having this problem. How many times in the playoffs where we had the previous quarterback at the helm, and we always get and it's like
Hey,
we're not.
hey. His name is Aaron freaking Rodgers, man.
Yeah, we've been having it with.
I am taking back my calling of him the previous Green Bay quarterback. His name is Aaron freaking Rodgers. And we have to give him some respect, man, because with him knowing, with him knowing how this defense is, he carried the defense too. We have to give him some credit. But I
No, no.
understand
Oh,
where you're coming
I
from.
totally agree with you on that. Like
I,
the
I,
run the table here, our defense is ranked
I know,
32nd,
but
and he carried us
I
to the championship.
understand where you're coming from. I
Yeah,
understand where you're coming from with this being the same thing, us being on this hamster wheel of going nowhere with the same old uh
dude, Colin, dude, and it seems like when we get punked by these teams, it's always got to be about the Niners. Colin Kaepernick ran 200 yards on us. Raheem Mostert 285 rushing yards on us. We cannot.
we it's
We
gonna
are
have to
not a
take
physical football team, and that's the issue with this team that
it's go
I have a problem with. We're not physical.
it's gonna have to take the general manager bringing in a defensive coordinator that's gonna bring that kind of energy.
And I would hate to waste another Hall of Fame. I would hate to waste Jordan
Like
Love's prime.
I
Just like
would
we wasted
love,
Rogers' prime, we don't want
I
to waste
would
Jordan Love's prime.
I would love for us to get a defensive coordinator that got some balls because uh,
Well, how many opportunities we
just
had?
listening
It's
to
still up to the task.
hold on just listening to Joe Barry in the press conferences is just so depressing. You know, I
Yeah.
come in with an upbeat attitude and um, everybody knows that I always have a good attitude when I come in these doors. Bro, you should be pissed off after that. I'm like, so, I'm one of them type of guys. I like to look myself in the mirror every once so every often to to tell myself you got to be better. You
Mm-hmm.
got to think better.
Yeah.
You got to upgrade and elevate the way you gonna move around here. And I don't know if Joe Barry is doing that. Like after a performance like that, I would have had to go have an affirmation in the mirror with myself, like, you gotta coach better. You gotta be on a ass. But like Matt
Well,
LaFleur
yeah.
said,
Well, that's Matt LaFleur's job. He's a head coach, and I
I
don't know.
know, but like Matt LaFleur said in one of his interviews, he said these guys are young. So Matt LaFleur is dealing with these guys being as young as they own social media. You know, they their mindset is not paying attention to details. And when you got a young team like that, it's gonna have to take the veterans in the locker room to really, speak up too.
Matt
That
LaFleur needs to take this team by his ball sack, and he needs to control. He needs to be the alpha in that locker room. He can't be having this. No, we don't have veterans no more. No more this player leg, players lead. no more because now this is a young team and he's
I
gonna
can't
have
even debate you on that. I can't
control.
debate you on what
He's
you
gonna
just
have to
said.
take control now and take the reins now,
You're
and
right.
no more letting players dictate.
You're right. I can't debate you on what you just said. You are absolutely 100% right on what you just said because um like I said in my last video,
You know,
these players are the reflection of the coaching.
you
You know
know.
what I'm saying? And you hear so many times when these coaches come in here, oh, it's about the culture. It's about the culture. Okay, you're a head coach. You have to lead the culture inside
Yeah.
the locker room. Like you look at coaches like Dan Campbell. He's leading the culture inside the locker room for the Lions to come out there and play like they playing. Even when they got limited players, they still going out there and they performing at a high level on both sides.
Dan Campbell is a player's coach, and I don't think Matt
That's
LaFleur is a
exactly
player's
it.
coach. He's not a player's coach. He is a yes man.
No, I wouldn't say Matt LaFleur is a yes man. I would say he's he's somewhat of a player's coach, because if he wasn't, the team wouldn't be buying into what he's delivering because they going out there and they making plays happen. So,
I
you
just
know,
don't think he has no grit to him. Like when you watch in Packer fan in Vegas,
and you might be
uh,
right, and that might be true. That
shout
might
out
be
to
true.
Packer fan in Vegas. He said that after the game, like he's like Matt LaFleur shows so much emotion, and I think when Vegas said, I think that emotion it's not good for the team. It's gonna hurt the team.
I mean, you look at coaches like Dick Vermeil. I mean, this guy used to cry all the time.
Yeah,
He would get so emotional after a football game with the Rams that
yeah,
the way they would go out there and perform, he would cry on the field.
yeah.
But I think the way that Vermeil showed his emotion, I think it was within the guidelines of team. You know what I mean? Like we bringing the team together. I thought him showing his emotion like that. I think he did it in a way to where the team bought into it. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
It might not translate the way Matt LaFleur is trying to translate it when it comes to trying to him expressing himself. It might come out a little cornballish because to me, when he does show his emotion, it is kind of cornballish sometimes. It looks a little kind of phony. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to use that word, but
Yeah,
it comes off a little phony, especially when the cameras are in the locker room. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's a different story when the camera's not in the locker room. Some people really don't do well in front of the camera. You know,
that's
it's a whole lot of aspects to everything that you see put in front of you when you watching shit on TV. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? So, um, but you might be right. You might be right. But I just think that I believe Matt LaFleur is a player's coach. I just think that with this young team and with social media, you don't know what these guys are looking at when they go home from the facility. It was what kind of comments that they might be reading on the Packer Instagram uh page. You know what I'm saying? And people just saying
Yeah,
all
that's
kinds
true.
of
And
hurtful things.
this is social
And,
media.
and, and I
Some
say
young.
this, and I say this because one of those players that have been letting social media affect them is Keshawn Nixon.
That's
He's
yeah.
responding to he's responding to every negative comment that's being put on
Devondre
social media.
Campbell.
And I'm like, bro, like
Devondre Campbell too.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So
And he's not
it,
young like that. He's what? He's a vet, right?
it don't matter. It don't matter
Yeah.
if you old. It don't matter if you old. If you read something online, some,
Yeah.
some
Well,
things you may read online may affect you. You may be like, "Whoa, damn,
yeah.
motherfucker saying kind of crazy." crazy stuff about me. Excuse my language,
Yeah.
but you know what I'm saying. We don't know what
That's
these
social
guys
media.
are
Yeah,
catering to
yeah, you can't help the
when they
social media.
not when they outside the facility. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
stuff. Yeah.
So I mean, I just think that with this period of time that we have before we play the Monday night game,
Mm-hmm.
you know, after seeing or being a part of that kind of loss
Mm-hmm.
to a divisional opponent,
Yeah.
where you know now that it's probably going to be a race between these two teams.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
you got to get your shit together. You know, this is a perfect time for Aaron Jones to get all the rest that he needs to get.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this could be a good opportunity for AJ Dillon to get his mind right. Um, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Um, but then again,
Yeah.
you got to look at trying to put people in position when you don't have your offensive line like you need to have it. You know what I'm
Yeah, that's
saying?
true.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? You missing two of your big key pieces on the offensive line, and you got rookies out there trying to fill some big shoes on that left tackle side. You know what I'm saying? Some big shoes on that left tackle side, and
Yeah.
when you subbing in different linemen each play. That lets me know right there that you didn't really prepare.
Mm,
Knowing that you wasn't gonna have Bakhtiari and Elton Jenkins, you didn't prepare. I know it's a Thursday night game, short period of time. You gotta have you gotta have a base. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have a base, man. A base preparation game plan. This is what we gonna come out there with. This is what we gonna run. And these are the guys that need to be on the field to make this thing run. Not throw Yash Nyman out there and move John Runyon over there to the right guard on this play and it's just you
mm,
just out of sync. You're not organized, and that's what we seen on Thursday night. It was a lot of unorganized football, a lot of unorganized football, and one of the things that Jordan Love stressed, we got to play up tempo football.
that's true.
You got young guys
Jordan
with
Love does
speed.
well playing up tempo. I
Exactly.
see Jordan Love. Yeah.
Matt LaFleur coming out there is so methodical, and I don't know.
And run the
May,
football, man. Like Jones, I mean, no, I know he's on a pinch count, man, but sometimes you gotta learn how to use your best players, man. Like Jones should
this is
not be having
another thing
five
too.
carries,
This is another thing too. You look at all of these teams around the league. They using three or four running backs, man.
and we not doing that.
Three to four running backs.
Yeah.
I, hey, like I said,
No, like,
young team,
no,
young.
don't want to
Like I
be too
said, young
critical.
team. With
Yeah,
this young team, you
yeah,
can't open the playbook up like you want to. You just
yeah,
can't, man.
true. Yeah,
You
that,
just can't. You just can't be. You just can't go out there and be the Kansas City Chiefs. Just run anything. You know what I'm saying?
no,
And we don't have that, especially with a guy like Jordan Love. Like we don't know what the coaches know. We don't know
that's
if
true.
the coaches are um we don't know if the coaches know how smart Jordan Love or how much they can open a playbook up for him. He might not be understanding certain concepts right now. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Especially with a young receiving room where you don't have a veteran wide receiver. And these guys might not be picking up on the concepts and the schemes that Matt LaFleur really wants to run. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
When we had Aaron Rodgers could go out there and give signals and change things up because he understands the defenses that's being presented in front of him. Right now, it's a learning process. That's how I'm looking at it. Like I said, I am on the every day, every week bus ride with Jordan Love. week to week bus trip with Jordan Love. That's how I'm approaching this season.
Mm,
Um, yes, anything can happen.
yeah.
Um, we've seen it with Jalen Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Some guys just pick up the game a little bit faster than other quarterbacks, and that might be based off of what college you might go you might have played for. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? That can really get a young up and coming quarterback NFL ready and NFL prepared like the Alabamas and the LSU's and
Mm,
those type big time schools, that you know breed those type of quarterbacks. But we don't know if Jordan Love is really picking up everything like we think he's picking up everything in a playbook. But like I said, just based off of these first 4 weeks of watching, Malafleur is not opening up the playbook. Like everything that I've been saying he was going to be doing, he's been
mhm.
doing. Playing under center, play action, all play action, all play action.
Yeah,
Maybe a little bit of
I think
empty
he wants
set.
to wait until Jordan Love gets more experience, and then he might, then he might open up the playbook more.
The only thing that I've been highly impressed with Jordan Love
Hmm.
is his
His calmness.
his patience,
Yeah, yeah.
his composure,
Hmm.
his maturity of playing the quarterback position. You
Yeah,
know, he's not out there panicking and
yeah.
running around with his head cut off like a chicken.
You can
Uh,
tell him sitting under Rogers more, kind of. You know.
well, that's why I said that out of all the quarterbacks that have come into the league the last 4 or 5 years,
Hmm.
Jordan Love probably will have the biggest advantage because he sat behind Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
He's had those examples of seeing big moments,
Hmm.
going deep into the playoffs. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Being a 13 and 3 team, he's got a chance
Yeah.
to sit on the sideline, not only see it, but he lived in those moments where the
Hmm.
Packers were successful like they were. But
Just like
now,
Rogers did with Brett Favre.
right,
Yeah.
right. So he has an advantage of knowing what it looks like. He knows he's had a chance to sit down and see how Rodgers can how you supposed to prepare for a playoff game. You know
Mm,
what I mean? He got front row tickets to see that shit. So
yeah.
my whole thing right now with this team is the coaching just has to be better. It's the coaching to
Yeah,
me.
yeah, man. The coach, yeah, a coach is the reason why we lost. Like it's totally uncoaching, man. Like we just got out coached.
Yeah, yeah, and you got to give credit to the Lions because they did some big things in the off season. They beefed up their defensive line. They beefed up their offensive line.
It starts
They
in the
went and got
trenches. It starts in the trenches, and that's what we not focused on is the trenches,
they
and that's
they
my
they
problem.
they stacked up their secondary. They did everything
Yeah,
that they were supposed to do. Um, playing with a quarterback that made it to a Super Bowl. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Went and brought some talent around them. But as far as this team, this
mhm,
is a work in progress, man. I mean, you just think about all of the Pro Bowl players that we lost in the last 3 years that have
yeah.
went on and gone and played for other teams, and you're seeing, like I said, you're seeing all of the Ted Thompson draft picks slowly
Yeah.
disappear, and I think the
It's
last one left on
a
his team.
rebuild. It's a
Yeah, this is yeah,
rebuild.
this is a total rebuild. This is a total rebuild. This team is youngest team in the league. So I
And
like that.
Packer fan Vegas said embrace the rebuild, and I think that's
Yeah,
what we should do.
to me, I like it. I like
Yeah.
the fact that we're in a rebuild.
Oh yeah.
I'm more excited about the journey. Yes, I want to see my team win every weekend, but when it comes to looking at your team and analyzing it, you just gotta be real with what you seeing. You know what I'm saying? And
Yep.
right now, we just don't see a complete football team right now. We just don't. We got a quarterback with his first year under center. You got a bunch of rookie offensive linemen, rookie receivers that I'm excited to see grow and mature into their own personalities and the type of players and the type of skill set they're gonna bring to the offense. And
It seems like Love and Jalen Reed are starting to have that connection.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. You know what I'm
So
saying?
uh,
And we
uh had to good to see.
yeah, and we this is a good chance for us to see if Matt LaFleur can develop
Yeah.
Pro Bowl quarterback. You know what I'm saying? As of right now, I'm not going to say Super Bowl quarterback,
Mm,
but I'm going to say a Pro Bowl quarterback. Um, and this is a project.
mm,
Just based off his contract he got, and based off of how Goot and Matt are going about Jordan Love. To me, this is a project. This is a work in progress, man. I mean, so we can't really. We got to accept the highs. When the highs are highs, you know what I'm saying? We praise them for that. And when the lows are lows, we just gonna have to, take the lows with the lows. You know what I'm saying? This is a learning. This is a learning experience right now for him. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not holding anything against Jordan Love. Whatever he do his first year with the Green Bay Packers, I know he gonna make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? My whole thing is, how will he learn from the mistakes that he make? You know what I'm saying? If he gets put in those situations again, and he will be put in those situations numerous times, you know, game to game, year to year. And if we see his maturation as a quarterback, you know, exceed those expectations that everybody has for him, then I don't think we got nothing to worry about.
yeah, that's
we
true.
He's already showed us that he's a gamer. He gonna get out there and, hey, when it's time to play
Yeah,
football, knowing that we need to be playing 60 minutes of football instead of one half. We know Jordan Love is capable of stepping up to the plate and willing to try to hit a home run. So
yeah.
um, it is what it is. This is the quarterback we got. We just got to ride with him. Um, any last thing you got to say uh about what you witnessed or
I mean, I don't. I mean, I don't like to be critical all the time, but I just had to today because I mean, I feel like I'm seeing the same thing. Like I'm seeing the same problem, and we not fixing it. You know what I mean? Like these are problems we've been having, and we not fixing it, and that's what I'm upset about.
it see I understand where you coming from. You don't want to keep going through the same thing over and over again expecting a different results. That that's insanity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
um from what Matt LaFleur said,
Hmm.
I'm already expecting us to get a new defensive coordinator next year.
Yeah.
I'm already expecting it. Joe Barry, to me, as of right now, I think he's fired. In
Well,
Matt LaFleur's mind, he is fired.
if we do get a new defensive coordinator, man, I just hope someone that's I don't know, man, a Wade Phillips or Leonard or somebody or with some I don't know, maybe Rex Ryan, maybe we can get him out of retirement, maybe he can, you know what I mean? I would love Rex Ryan, man, because that dude is, you know, he don't play, man. Like that guy can coach a defense.
Yeah, man. Hey, I'm already just from what Matt LaFleur demeanor was about the defense and
Yeah.
what he said. That let me know right there that Joe Barry he's out the door. Um,
I mean, he should have been going last year. See, that's what, and the problem is too
right.
that we hold on to guys 1 year or too late too, man. Like Dom Capers and don't get me started.
Hey man, it is what it is. I mean, the Green Bay Packers are hiring these guys. I mean, they vet them. They do the background work on them. They know the teams that they play for. At
Dom
the end of the,
Capers, he kept him 3 years too late.
yeah, 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 we did.
Jeez.
But from what Matt LaFleur said, I think Joe Barry is fired. He was
Yeah,
fired after that game. I mean,
yeah,
right now it's just pointless to get rid of him in week 4. It's too early to do that. You know what I mean? And I think Matt LaFleur is just looking at it from a standpoint of like we didn't have Devondre Campbell, we didn't have Jair Alexander. You know what I'm saying? We still waiting on Eric Stokes to get healthy. Jair did practice this week though, so that's a good sign.
yeah. That.
Um, so I just think he was kind of looking at it like that from a standpoint.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Matt LaFleur, you the head coach, bruh.
Mm-hmm.
You the head coach. So you the man in charge. So you got to make sure that your other coaches are doing their jobs, man. So let's
There's one thing too. Real quick, and then we can move on. I would like to see, and I know we young team
right.
experience like that, but I would like to see this offense get off to a hot start, and so that way we can play from ahead instead of have to play from behind. You know what I mean? I just hopefully the slow starts won't. I mean, again, it's still early, but hopefully move it down the season, the slow starts on offense won't continue. But again, we all young, so
Yeah, I mean, knowing we got to play the Raiders uh Monday night, and they just got their ass whooped by the Chargers this week. I think we got a good chance of winning that game. I really do. And
Javante got hurt, but he came back and he should be ready. He should play next week.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Plus, the
That's gonna.
status of Jimmy Garoppolo. Um, we don't know what that's going to be looking like, but I think with this length of time that we got off to get healthy, get our minds right, um, prepare to win, pay attention to details. I think the Packers could bounce back on Monday night in Vegas and win that game before we go on the bye week. But yeah, man, let's get into the NFC North, the division that we are trying to win. Right? We're taking baby steps. Well, my approach with this team is to take baby steps, is to try to win the division. That's
Mhm.
where you should always try to start off at. That way you will know where you fit within the rest of the NFC conference. So we had a wild game, man, from the Minnesota Vikings facing off against the Carolina Panthers, man.
Yeah,
Started off ugly. Started off real ugly, but some weird way Kirk Cousins was able to make his magic happen and to bring them back. He had a horrible game statistically,
mhm.
but he brought them back in this game,
Well, he
and
was due for one because before he's putting up great, historical numbers, stat pattern numbers.
yeah, man, him and Justin Jefferson, they started clicking, and
Oh
they
yeah,
got it
that,
to
that,
work.
yeah, yeah. That connection's good.
Yeah, yeah, they got it working, they got it clicking, and they pulled out a W, got their first win of the season.
Yeah,
So
congratulations.
maybe
Yippee.
things are looking up for the Vikings. The Panthers are now 0-4. This was a battle of 0-3 teams playing off playing against each other, so somebody had to win.
Yeah,
And the Vikings, pulled it off on the road.
unless they
So
tie, but
you said what?
unless they both somehow tied.
Yeah, that would have been funny.
Yeah,
But Kirk
yeah,
Cousin, the pick six, and this ugly, ugly way to start the game off. But it's how you finish, and he
yeah.
finished it off with a W.
Uh-huh.
moving along.
And then the Bears, blew a 28-7 lead. Are you shocked? I'm not.
I mean, I
I mean,
figured
they're
Justin
probably
Fields.
taking for Caleb Williams next year.
No, I figured Justin Fields would have a good game. I
Yeah.
figured he would have a good game.
Mm.
Um, but I did expect him to lose. I did expect him to lose this game, and that's just based off of this team don't have no discipline, man. They just don't have no discipline on defense. The defensive once the defensive coordinator quit, I knew their defense was in shambles. I mean, they I don't know how many penalties they got called on them because for Russell Wilson to have 223 yards of passing and 3 touchdowns, yeah, it was a lot of penalties being called.
Mm.
So that tells me right there that this team is just not mentally bought into what the Bears are trying to bring. What the Bears are trying to. Oh, what's that? Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Um, yeah, I just think the Bears are just not bought into this team this year. Um, but I expected them to lose, and they are 0-4. They 0-2 at home. They are now in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes.
Yeah. Goodbye, Bustin Fields.
Yeah, man. So this
Uh,
division is,
Bears
uh,
having Bears are continuing to keep having been their bad luck at quarterback. Man, it's a shame. You just hate to see it.
this division is just ugly, man.
It
It's an
is what it is.
ugly division
Trash,
we in.
garbage. It's not good.
You know, one thing we can take away from the Lions game is that um, they showed us that we have to be physical, man. If
Yeah,
we want to compete in this league, they showed us that we have to be physical. And I don't even think the Lions are that fit. I don't think they are that physical of a team. You know what I'm saying?
they go against us. They are.
Yeah, because they tired of getting they ass whooped by us. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So when you beating the top dog of the division, which is the greatest football team in sports history, the Green Bay Packers,
yeah,
when you just look at the historic success that this team has had in this division, I mean, of course, if you the Lions or the Bears or the Vikings, you're gonna be licking your chops to try to punch this team in the mouth any chance you get the opportunity to do it. Playing playing us twice a year.
yeah,
I just think that you know, I just think Matt LaFleur's softness just rubs off on his team. You know what I'm saying? Like, uh,
yeah, man.
uh,
Yeah,
mm.
well, yeah. I mean, well. That's my biggest fear, man. That's my biggest fear with him is this his lack of aggressiveness. Him not. I mean, not having that coaching backbone. I feel like that's gonna set this team back somehow, some way. Hopefully, I'm wrong, but I just hopefully this doesn't trickle down to the guys in the locker room
Yeah, that's. I mean,
because if
it's just
coach is
it's
off,
tough to
they
watch,
do
man. It's just tough
LA
to
was
watch to see. It's just so tough to watch to see your team just get knocked around like that, man.
yeah,
It,
man.
it just really show you how good your team really is, man. When you see them get knocked around like that, just
I know, right? Just
it's
getting
like,
bubbled. It's
but
just yeah.
we still in the mix. We 2-2.
Yeah.
You know
Oh,
what I'm saying? That's not nothing to be mad about being 2-2 right
no.
now. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
each game that we play is going to be a learning experience. We
like
really should be. We
uh
really should be. We
one and
really
three.
should be. Yeah, 1-3.
Yeah, we should be 1 and 3, but luckily
We
we win
really should be 1-3.
now. So, but I would take 2-2, and like Aaron Nackler says, a lot of ball game left. So,
Yeah, it's a lot of ball game left, man. We still got
so
13 games left on the season.
yeah, man.
Uh,
Let's just hope this team learns.
just looking at our schedule, things do get a little easier down the road.
Hmm.
But the main thing right now with this team is health. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We on the road the next two games. We got AFC West opponents that should be, you know, very easy to compete against. But then again, we got to add travel into this whole situation. Um, Coming back to the West Coast twice, playing against Las Vegas, and then we go on. I think we go on a bye week after that, and then we go out and play against Denver, which should be a good game, and then we have two home games after that against Minnesota and the Los Angeles Rams, and then we alternate home games and road games throughout the season, which should be a very, very uh, a very, very good situation to see how Jordan Love is going, approach that, you know, the traveling aspect. That's one of the biggest things to me too with Jordan Love is how is he going to be on road games. We got road game against Detroit, got to play the Giants, got to play the Panthers, got to play Minnesota, got to go play. Yeah, we got
We
some
got
road games.
we got to play the Kansas City Chiefs at home.
Yeah, that's a home game. That's a prime time game. I think that's a Sunday night game. So
Which
yeah, and
spoiler alert. I think that's a W. But
it could be. It could be a W. It could be a W. Just based off of how well this team, well, depends on how better they get week to week to week. So
yeah, but
um,
again, that depends what Packer team shows up to.
that's true. And how well will his team prepare? How will these coaches prepare these guys? So
Yeah,
uh, I'm excited to see how this year is going to turn out.
yeah, man.
Whether it's good, whether it's bad, I'm
Mm.
I'm riding. I'm riding with the Packers.
Yep.
So yeah, man. I don't have none of my Packer gear on. I'm ready. I'm ready for baseball playoffs, man. So before we end the show, man, you know how we end it. We're gonna end it with a go pack go. We thank all of you guys who tuned in and stopped by to another episode of Moving the Chains with BMac and KHTV. Shout out to Big Nate, Packer fan in Vegas. Check out Titletown G's. I'm sorry, I don't know they schedule when they drop
Yeah,
they
yeah.
pod.
I checked them out. So yeah, they doing good there. So
Not only that, tune in to my boy Higher Point of View when
yeah,
he break down the games, man. Very, very, very great perspectives from him, man. When he dropping his jewels on what the Packers outlook is going to be about. A lot of things
T-ball.
that has shown and came to fruition. So
Mm.
check out Higher Point of View. Make sure you tune into AJ. Shout out to AJ and the rest of the content that we're going to be bringing out. Um, Thanks for tapping in to MTC, and we'll see y'all next week where we break down the Raider game that I will be attending. It's gonna be a whole lot of content for that coming out, so be looking forward to seeing that shit. And we out, y'all.